Sisters,
We shall not yield to tyranny.
our cause just we will prevail. The fight
Hello,
for our
history
rights.
buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Bobby, at this
Hello,
point,
history.
shame on you. Shame on you. Because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. Shouldn't be okay with it. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this.
A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls.
The economy, we have a global economy. That's why we're the number one economy in the world. I know that a lot of people want to paint the horrible view of America, but, you know, go live somewhere else and then tell me America's bad.
Patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty. This is
It is
what
so
American
freaking crazy to me that we have an conflict with Iran before a single person from the Epstein files has been arrested on American soil.
The hour our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Brothers
Hey, I
and
was
sisters.
working, man, you know, but it's good to see Rippy out there handling business, man. And again, hey, there's a lot of black Trump supporters, man. I mean, it feels good to see that, man. So I'm...
My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
A real coach. People are getting sick of it. The moment a celebrity steps slightly outside the leftist approved narrative, they get attacked. Chili from TLC gets eat over allegedly donated to Donald Trump.
For liberty. The British advance. We must act.
Our supplies are low, but morale is high.
Then we fight for liberty.
Payne's War captures the spirit of we fight for independence.
With
Welcome
people
to my
that said they were anti-war. I think they said no new wars. Yeah, they voted for a president that was not going to start any new wars. And what's funny to me is that not only were you lied to, not only did this man start this and get out of the
freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Just in order to get the Greater Israel Project accomplished, you have to kill people. That's why it's wrong. Killing people is wrong. Full stop. So you can try to make sense of it with, well, it's a threat and this and that. There's no greater threat than the United States empire.
To the encampment. For liberty.
And what I've learned, and I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. I voted for Trump the first time, but he's become a politician. He lies like all the other politicians. He deceives like all the other politicians.
Endures through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Our cause in
I'm going to go out on a limb and say anybody that sits in that oval does not like Americans. They love United States, though, which is the politics, but they don't love the Americans. Americans are farmers. Americans are mechanics. Americans are school teachers. Americans are mom and pop businesses.
And flaming! Soldiers, the enemy is near.
Not only do I love my FBA fam, my Black American fam, my Black people on code, you know, my people that's allies with us as part of the fam. I love y'all. I love my country too. You feel me?
The cause to victory.
To victory. These pastries are wonderful.
Indeed, but we must stay vigilant.
Breaking news here about the war. The president has just issued a truth social from the White House saying this: based on conversations with Prime Minister Sharif and Field Marshal Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran, agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Again, just seconds ago, before the deadline for attacks on Iran tonight, and it seems like a deal is in the making.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
Hi, I'm Kim.
Jared Williams.
It's Mia.
I'm Jeff.
Ronan.
And we have two very special guests tonight. Andre's back in the building, but we also have Jeff and Ronan. Jeff, it is your first time on the new party. Let everybody know where they can find you and what kind of content you make.
Sure. So I'm on TikTok as my handle right there, Afraid of No One But God. It's my main account. On Instagram as Not Jeff Mack. It's my kick name, which is also being streamed at the same time. My kick name is just Jeff Mack, though. And yeah, I mainly am known on TikTok.
So, Jeff, I have a question. Do you make looks maxing content? Like, are you like a looks maxer like Clavicle? Because when I looked at your stuff, I was like, me and he looks like in shape, looks maxing. Hey, and I mean that as a compliment. Like, you are buff, you are in shape. I tell you got all the girls.
No girls.
But no stunts like Clavicle, right? We're not like that kind. Okay.
No. I'm trying to promote like traditional values and things that will bring families together, not the clubbing, not the. I've been through that party scene and everything, and so it's not the way to go forward. It's not the way. It's not like a role model. Like you're supposed to be a role model as a man, and it's not doing that stuff. I call him out on his stuff sometimes.
Got you. Well, you're a very good-looking guy like Clavicle, so I will give you your props. But we're going to kick it off tonight talking about what Tucker Carlson had to say about Trump. As you guys saw in that first clip, Trump tacoed. I had a entirely different show planned. What was Trump going to do? I was going to be breaking news, I thought, of him bombing a civilization to the next smithereens, but that didn't happen. So let's watch Tucker Carlson and let's see what he had to say, because he definitely had a lot to say about President Trump this week. But leading up, Alex Jones has also been critical of him. So let's also hear what he has to say later.
We are not going to open the straits with the United States Marine Corps, the 82nd Airborne, or the Tier 1 operators that everyone on cable news seems to know so much about. The Tier 1 operators, Tier 1. Just guys, like some of the best guys actually in America could be killed in this. That's a better way to put it. It's a more real way to put it. They are not going to open the strait. And so unless somebody puts the brakes on right away, we're going to wind up in a place that we can't even imagine. Not just Iran, us and the rest of the world. And so that means, because this is obvious to anyone who's paying any attention, that if you work in the White House or in the U.S. military, now it's time to say no, absolutely not. And say it directly to the president, no. In case you're thinking about using some weapon of mass destruction against the population of Iran, in whose name we liberated Iran. We killed their religious leader for their benefit. Do you remember that? This was last month. Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this because this is insane. And if given the order, I'm not carrying it out. Figure out the codes on the football yourself.
So this last few days, there has been a renewed calling for President Trump to be impeached. Mia, what's your thoughts? Do you think President Trump should be impeached, and what would that look like?
I mean, we wouldn't be able to get so lucky as to get him impeached, but at the same time, that leaves us with JD Vance. So we basically only have one impeachment. They're not going to impeach Trump, then impeach JD, then impeach Rubio, and impeach this person, impeach that person. You know, they're not going to do 20 impeachments until we get to somebody down the line that we like. So it's one of those things where you have to figure out the lesser of two evils right now, right? Because we still have a few years left of this presidency. So is Trump the lesser of two evils, or is JD the lesser of two evils? And people need to ask themselves that, because we only have the impeachment card once, and it's not even going to work until the blue wave happens in the fall. So impeachment probably won't happen until next year after January 20th, when everybody's sworn in and they have all the votes in both legislative houses in order to do that. So, I mean, and Trump has enough loyalists in his committees to where they're not going to go against him at this point in time because he's still in power. So I guess the better question would be, who's the lesser of two evils, Trump or JD?
Well, Alex Jones was a strong supporter of President Trump. He has now switched his tune, and he is calling for President Trump's impeachment. This is what he had to say.
The 25th Amendment is asked.
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment, it's harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and pretend, let him pretend he's president, and publicly report that he's going through a health issue, and Vance take over. It literally needs to be something like that. It's that bad.
So, Andre, welcome back. Should the 25th Amendment be used on President Trump? You are a young guy. President Trump is 50 years your senior. Should age be it? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of seeing sides of Biden. And I had a free Biden elderly abuse thing going on. Do you think it's quite that bad, or are we just not there yet?
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, getting the impeachment, I mean, you're still going to get the same Jewish cabal running the system. Doesn't matter. JD Vance, you're going to get Palantir, you're going to get all that garbage. So, you know, it's not even worth it. You're going to go and get these assholes who are even worse than Trump. I mean, Trump is the wild card sitting in the Oval Office. You know, he's going to do whatever he wants, but also he's going to do the bidding of the establishment, as Wesley's saying. Like, he's abandoned the entire MAGA movement at this point. MAGA's dead because the GOP took over the entire MAGA movement. It's completely gone. There is no MAGA anymore. So impeaching him doesn't really do anything. You're going to get JD Vance, and then you're going to get H-1B1 visas and shit. You're going to get, I don't want an Indian first lady, so I don't want none of that shit. I want the White House to be clean, you know, only for blacks and whites, not for smelly Indians. All right. Simple as that.
God.
And then we get Marco, little Marco. That's really, when you know that, listen, when you get JD Vance and Marco Rubio running the country, the GOP's won. And that's the same, you know, AIPAC, you know, pro-Israel, evangelical bullshit that we've been listening to. It's going to be even worse times 10. So it doesn't really go anywhere good. And the same thing would happen if Kamala was in office. We're going to get the same shit either way. This was just it was always going to happen.
So, Jeff, am I safe to say you are conservative?
Yeah. I've always been conservative. Yeah.
Okay. So, should the 25th Amendment be used? And what do you think the future holds for JD Vance, Marco Rubio, like to Andre's point, if it is used?
I back him up fully on that. As much as I'm fully conservative, my support for Trump has gone out the window. I am a lawyer actually too, but I don't think the 25th should be used on Trump. I just don't think it's going to do anything. It's rendering it meaningless.
All right, we're going to get Ronan and Kimberly in here. Doesn't matter. There are some conservatives that say they don't care what Trump does. They're still not voting for Democrats. Let's watch.
Trump could drop a nuke and I'd still vote
Republican over those people because
You're
they want
a Fifth Avenue voter.
in some ways, I really am. But honestly, what they want to do is nuke our own country. You know, it's like the open border, what they're doing to children, all that stuff is still they would do it all if put back in power. And I think most Republicans know that, which is
okay. Kimberly, what is your thoughts? Like, what will it take for people to stop being tied to parties? Like, do you agree with what she said? Because I know you don't really like the Democrats either, even though you're more left leaning. What do you think?
I don't know what it will take. I think as time goes by, I think both extremes get even more extreme. It's sad to see. But I think with the age of the internet, we see the war propaganda just getting worse and people clinging onto every word that these people say. Like, we didn't all read 1984. And so with the issue of like, I think JD would be worse. I think he's more malleable. He's already shown that he'll bend over backwards with Donald Trump. We see the occasional Freudian slip. Sometimes he's crazy and he says things that he feels every once in it. So at least appreciate that. And then he's nice enough to be honest every now and then. But what I think the real problem that we're having here is that they should have impeached him when he bombed Iran last year during the 12-day war. That was impeachable. He should have been impeached and removed like this last year. But they're not going to do that. The Democrats are not going to do that because they do the same shit. They're going to go and try to impeach him on some silly thing that they know they're not going to get him on, that they know he's not going to get removed on, because that would implicate them as well, because they're two sides of the same coin, and there's not much daylight in between the Democrats and the Republicans when it comes to foreign policy. One of the reasons why I say Barack Obama was worse than Bush is because he was such a catastrophic failure, not just to this country, but humanity, because he should have been a response. But instead, he was more of an extension, a continuation of the same fucking foreign policy. And I remember Barack Obama said, we're looking forward, not backward. And they didn't prosecute any of the people that led us into the Iraq war. And now we see a lot of the same people leading us into the Iran war. And it's because they wouldn't even hold any of the people when it came out, when we were torturing people. They didn't hold even like mid-level CIA managers accountable for that. They didn't hold any accountability for them. So do I think that the Democrats now, the Democrats that still, by the way, say Barack Obama was the best president of my lifetime, supposedly, do I think they're going to hold any of the Republicans accountable? No, I don't. So I think at this point, we just need to break away from the two-party system. I've been saying that for years. I've been voting third party.
So, Ronan, are you going to be calling for President Trump to be have the 25th Amendment used? What's your thoughts?
No, I don't. I think that the 25th Amendment is a Republican bear trap. Here's the deal. If they do the 25th Amendment, that leaves Vance in place to be able to pardon him and protect him beyond the White House. Now, if they do that, he's also got a built-in defense. Oh, look, I was so incompetent. How could you hold me accountable? This, that, and the other. Is it a good defense? No, it's a Trump defense. It's gold-plated crap. But that's the maneuver, because if he actually allows the midterms to happen and they take control, the Democrats take control of the House and the Senate, and Kim's right, they've got no backbone whatsoever. I don't know how their jackets stay upright with no spine, but it's another standpoint. But the fact of the matter is that if the House and the Senate flips, all top three are going to be impeached out of the office. So what is he going to do? Risk prison? Because he knows he's got charges still waiting for him. The Jack Smith stuff can still come back on him. So the only thing they can do is by pleading this. Now, I'm a little bit older than some of you. You don't remember the mob bosses in New York City acting like as if they were dementia, crapping their pants and all this kind of stuff. They can't possibly face any kind of charges. Look at him. He'll have a perfect excuse. Look, I was so bad, they kicked me out of the office. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of a pardon that Vance will protect him. Vance can protect him if he's president. So don't give him what he wants. That's my say.
Oh, all right. I was surprised by your take. I'm
wearing no kings. I mean,
I was too.
Well, I thought you were going to say use the 25th Amendment.
No, because it gives him what he wants. Look, we have to all listen. I know I'm going to sound like a conspiracy nut, but as I was going to say normally the token white guy, but the reality of it is this. every single time you go, there's no way that could be true. It turns out to be true.
Ronan, why do you always talk about you being a white guy? I want to talk about this. Seriously, I want to talk about this because this really bothers me because you said that the second time around me, and we literally just met. Why do you always say that?
Because I am.
Why you gotta say that, bro? Okay, what's wrong with you being white?
There ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm not exactly happy with my people
There
right
we
now,
go.
to be honest with you. I mean, I got
What is there not to be happy about your people?
Do we have an hour? Let's just go into it. Let's just stop from the fact. How about the fact that he's locking people into cages for doing the exact same thing his grandparents did?
Good.
How about that? How about the
Good.
fact that we're talking about the fact we got people in cages right now while everyone's claiming to be pro-life and pro all of this?
What
but meanwhile, they
cage?
don't care
Ronan,
about the
what
people in those
cages? Where are the cages?
Who built the cages?
What cages?
What cages?
Who built
The,
the
What
cages?
cages?
what you'd call the concentration camps. How about the
Concentration camps? Are
$450
concentration camps bad?
Yes.
How?
How is it bad?
It's bad. It's bad.
Listen, we'll go
Not
into
today,
it. We'll
Andre.
go into it. We'll go into
Wait a
it.
minute. Are you
I'm just
telling me
saying.
you're pro-slavery and I'm against slavery? Is that where we're at?
Who said I'm pro-slavery? Slavery? What are we talking? The white guy mentioned slavery. All typical, right? What are we talking about slavery for? You know, you're going to think you're a little Jewish in a
Do you
minute.
want to know how white I am, Andrew? Do you want to know how white I am?
Andre, I can tell
Andre,
you.
excuse me. I apologize. I might call you a bad name, but I don't want to screw up the actual name. No, I'm
Go
German
ahead.
English. So I literally had people that were either in the camps or working the camps. Okay. So
Okay. I don't find the camps to be that bad, to be honest. I don't find the camps to be bad at all. When you study the history, the camps were necessary to get the Jews out of the country, which they already planned to do. Now, the bad actions came when certain more fanatical members of the NSDAP started killing people. That was the worst part, but getting them out was the necessary part. And this is how we get, honestly, the Jewish state of Israel anyway. I mean, I want Jews to live in Israel at the end of the day. I don't want them to live in our country.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't still understand what's wrong with it.
We're gonna get off of that.
I'm just asking, am I getting punked right now?
I know, I'm serious.
No.
I'm serious as shit.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
He hasn't met me.
I personally
Andre,
think
I'm
Andre's a comedian. I'm
gonna
pretty
tell
sure
you.
he's a comedian.
I'm going to tell you something straight, Andre. I don't really care what color you are because we all bleed the exact same. So the fact is, whether you're Jewish or whatever, it doesn't matter because that's the problem I see with the Jewish religion is everyone says it's just like everything they are. But what is your
Jews aren't just a religion; they're a race as well. That's the whole thing that people forget.
But it's really not a race. That's the way.
Yes, they would tell you it's a race. Genetically, it's a race. Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews. I mean, they're a race. They've always proven themselves to be a race more than a religion. At the end of the day,
it is a
They
race.
stated this.
It is a race.
The way that they act, yes, they do try to make it seem like there's something better or more separate. I get that, but they're still human beings. They shouldn't, no matter what they are. I don't care. There's a certain level that it doesn't matter what their nationality, their race, the whole bit. There's no reason that we should have that.
See, that's where I have to stop you. This is when we get where white people are today, that they're not willing to acknowledge the reality of how things are. You know, I'm willing to acknowledge that race is real. It's a fundamental part of one's identity. And I can make the distinction between myself and you, and also even Jews as well.
Okay, well, I don't know how we got here, but just so you realize, I think you're punking me a little bit.
Oh, we got here. We landed here pretty nicely.
All right. I say race, but like I've been told that we should say class as far as the class levels that are here, because honestly, we've got the first class, the top 99%, and there's the rest of us. You're talking about religion and this person, that, the whole 9 yards. But unless you've got $1 billion, this country doesn't give a shit about you. And that's a fact. The reality of it is the only people that when you hear Trump talk and you hear him say, I made it easier to live and I've lowered taxes and I've done this, he's talking to the 1%. If all of us look at him, we go, what the hell are you talking about? Everything's 10 times expensive. But when you take and think he's talking just to the 1%, he's made their lives better. He's made their costs less. He's taken and used all of our money to try to better them while he's trying to protect himself in that Oval Office after he's been diddling kids like Laffy Taffy.
I'm going to say this. You know, you're right about the class part. That's very important. But it's race and class, and the majority of those at the 1% happen to be Jewish. So they overrepresent a lot of the wealth in this country. They happen to be Jewish. So we can't acknowledge, we can't talk about race, but we can talk about class, and then race is tied with that. You know, we see the one racial group is dominant in that position.
Well, let me ask you a question. How much of that is factored into the fact that you have now all Christian people in the White House right now? So right now, regardless of the Jews, we can push that to the side. It's white Christians mostly that are doing this to the rest of the people, and it's not like it's a race thing. You're right, because they're screwing white people, black people all over. It doesn't really matter, because unless you're that top 1%, this country is not for you anymore. So how do you feel about the fact that you've got Christians doing it? How about the fact that Trump, actually a Christian or claiming to be Christian, for on the Sundays and the tax returns, was cutting SNAP to 42 million Americans, and he didn't give a shit what color they were.
I mean, I think that's good. I think that's good. You got the wrong one. I think that's a good thing. Cut that fucking SNAP. If you know how black people are, cut that fucking SNAP.
So you're okay. So you're telling me that you're okay with spending, or not, you don't want to spend $137 a year out of your tax dollars for that, but you were okay with good and what's the other guy's name? Getting shot on the streets by ICE, because you paid for that too.
So yeah.
So what would you rather?
1,000% I'll pay for that. Yeah, I'll pay for that. Because guess what? The people coming to my country illegally are a net negative on society compared to both are a net negative. Me giving fucking EBT to Shaniqua and Tyrone to do nothing and be unproductive black people, that's a net negative. And having people illegally come here and be abused by multinational corporations is a big problem.
We're diving into a totally unrelated subject. We're circling
We're all over the place.
Yeah,
let's
Okay,
Andre,
let's bring it
I'm telling
back.
you right now, I definitely think that you and I need to do a live, because honestly, oh God, I'll buy you dinner. God damn it. I'm not putting out, but I'll buy you dinner.
I was not expecting
right.
this friendship to brew. I really was not. I'm going to be honest with you. But
See,
Andre,
I'm
you
playful
made
when
a
I'm
new
not
friend.
told to shut up.
I've traded one white in that did not like you for another one that did, Andre. So you can buy me that dinner.
No, because I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you to you straight. I love
Angel's
hearing.
not white. He's Italian.
I want to hear everybody's opinion. And I can't believe that. And if we're going to say race for a second, let's just be funny for a second. Just for race. I can't believe I'm the white guy telling that slavery is bad. He's like, no, that's cool, dude. Let's just keep it going. Like I
Wait a minute. I didn't say that slavery was good. I didn't say slavery was good. I will say.
But hold on, but you are technically saying slavery is good, because right now in those camps that you say are so great, they've got people doing work for pennies on the dollar while they're being waited to be deported. And the thing of it is this: realize this. Less than 20% of the people that are being locked up in cages right now have no criminal record at all. So that idea of that they're getting the
criminal records that they came here to this country.
Can you guys hear me?
The criminal records they came here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. We're gonna go to the next topic.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna stay on topic because we're talking about Iran. But since you guys like people that kind of like anti-Semitic a little bit, sounds like, I'm going to play you one of the biggest anti-Semites and what he had to say about Trump's tweet.
Oh, is this Nick
He
Fuentes?
said, quote, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day
He's
and
not
Bridge
Mexican.
Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Trump. And I don't know about you, but I saw this yesterday. And like Marjorie Greene and like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and everybody else, this is disturbing. It's actually sickening. And I'm not that guy. I think you know that about me. I'm not really one to be a bleeding heart or to clutch my pearls or to be sanctimonious about this sort of thing.
He's wearing pearls?
But it's everything about this. It's everything about it. It's bad enough that we are in a war in Iran without a reason, without a plan B, an exit strategy, a plan. It's not enough that we're being lied to about it, that we're doing it for Israel. Americans are dying, and Trump is totally flippant about that. But it's Easter Sunday. It's literally the holiest day of the year, and this is what you post? Not Happy Easter, not Christ is risen, nothing. You threaten to bomb Iran, which is bad enough by itself, but then it's the profanity. Open up the fucking strait, you crazy bastards. Tomorrow we're bombing all your infrastructure. And then mocking God. And then praise be to Allah. And then mocking God in the middle of it as well. And this is when you realize Trump is evil. He's not a bad president. He's not surrounded by bad advisors or bad personnel or people that are disloyal or not giving him good advice. I've been trying to say this for years. It's him. He is the problem. He has always been the problem. This entire time, any way you want to cut it. It's not the people under him. It's not the people around him. It's not people failing him. It's him. And it's him at his core. It is because he is a completely hollow and wicked person. Who else, what other kind of person could say something like this? And it would be bad enough if you were a Fox News talk show host. You expect this kind of thing from Mark Levin. You expect this kind of thing from Laura Loomer. These people have darkened minds and darkened souls, and they are shock jocks, and their business is to offend the conscience of everybody to get attention because their message is repugnant and no.
So, Jeff, what is your thoughts on what he said? What do you think about Trump's tweet? Was it disrespectful? Was it too much? Do you think it was good timing? What do you think?
Oh, poor timing, especially on Easter. That's the thing I agree with Fuentes on for sure. Yeah, it just could have been. It was just. I think it was a terrible move for his base or for anyone, or the majority of the country, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was offended as a follower of Christ. I just came back from my early Sunday morning's worship, and I read this disgusting tweet. Also, as somebody that has family members that are Muslim, I think it was disrespectful to their religion. What do you think about the direction that the country's going in, Kim? Do you think that we are eroding freedom of religion? Oh, whoops.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Sorry.
Are we eroding freedom of religion? What do you think?
I think so. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go back on. I'm having Wi-Fi issues. 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna get Mia in here. Mia, what do you think? Because we talked about that this morning. Do you think we're eroding freedom of religion at this point?
Yeah, I think we're eroding a lot of freedoms. I mean, I had posted the FBI, their proposed budget for 2027, page 13, contains a lot of, they're switching their mission. So the FBI is usually reactive. So technically things happen and then they react to them. And now they're being proactive and they want to exponentially quadruple their surveillance of American citizens. So it's right in their 2027 their proposed requested budget from Congress, page 13. So they want to surveil us, and what they consider extremism, even though they don't go into detail of how extreme or what you have to say. Basically, if you are not a neocon, if you are not an evangelical Christian, basically you're fucked. They are going to surveil you and they consider you an enemy of the state and a domestic terrorist. And that is a direct infringement on the First Amendment, because people should be able to at least say, I don't agree with something. I understand the First Amendment has that caveat where you can have repercussions for that. You can lose your job, you can do this, but people should still be able to say, I don't agree with what is happening. And now it's to the point where they're going to proactively attack Americans, and they are expanding their surveillance, obviously through Palantir and whatnot, and OpenAI and all these new contracts we've signed. So we can essentially kiss goodbye any privacy that we have. This administration is going full surveillance state. And part of that is in their FBI proposed budget.
Before we go to the next topic, I'm going to ask everyone, do we think that President Trump will stick to the 2-week ceasefire, or do we think something is going to mess it up? Jeff, I'll let you go first.
Well, I was just going to say, after Mia said all that, as soon as I started talking about the Jews on TikTok, I was trending, crashed. And then I lost my account. And then I talked against Bill Gates on my backup account. I lost that account. So I had to bring both accounts back. That's like 750,000 followers on 2 accounts that I've just lost due to the Jews. And the surveillance is worse and worse. And yeah, it was like ever since they changed ownership at the beginning of March, my views just went into the ground. And I just stopped talking about it completely because I can't risk my account. Sometimes I get paid for it, but I'm demonetized right now. Naturally.
We need to start the demonetized club. Talk to Ronan.
I just got demonetized on X. Think about how wild I got demonetized on X, and X is a wild fucking place where you can watch porn and shootings, and I got demonetized on X. Yeah, the moment I start talking about the Jews, boom, there we go. My Instagram, the last one I had, all my videos about the Jews gone, boom.
So
300K gone.
Black people, they push it out, Andre. That's
They push, and guess what?
Yeah.
The funny part is that Jews will come in and say, I followed you until like you start talking about the Jewish people. It's like, okay, thank you, Goldberg, for letting me know that you're only here when we talk about each other. Thank you for showing that you play both sides. I love it. But yeah, it's like, here, I bet he's Jewish. I bet your client is like a hidden heave in the comments. I can tell. With this Sunday, he was at Sabbath.
I will say I'm still monetized, but I have been stuck at 30,000 followers for months now. It's not increasing, which tells me I'm just like not hitting algorithms. I mean, I should be getting way more views, and I can barely get like 300 views. I'm wicked suppressed. But I will say, to Jeff's credit, I have noticed ever since those who shall not Oracle purchased TikTok, it has been completely different. It's been different since it went that blackout that first time, and then we came back after like a day or two. It was kind of different after that. But I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I really do miss my CCP China person watching my algorithm. I miss them. I really miss them. TikTok was a better place when the CCP was watching us. I hate to say that, but when the Chinese were watching us, it was a better place. I had more fun. My content was better. I was making money. I mean, like I was making money, and now it's like nothing. It's like, damn, man.
My spy contacted
a really bad
me.
joke, but I'm not going to. I don't want us to get demonetized on this.
Kimberly, what do you think? Will the 2-week ceasefire hold, or will something mess it up?
I think Trump is unhinged, but I think Israel will mess it up.
100%. They already have their next planned attack. Every time Trump says, oh, we're closer, oh, we're talking, literally the very next day, Israel does an attack. Literally the next day. It's happened 5 times so far.
Right. And just, for my sake, when I say Israel, I mean the government. I mean the extreme right wing, Likud.
Kimberly, did your friend reach back out to you? So just so everyone knows, we'll play it at the end, but a really big name has a beef with Kimberly. Older millennial has put his teeth in you. He's made 3 videos now talking about you. And he called you, what did he call you? He called you a Zoomer.
He called me Gen Z, and I said, thank you very much. I said, we could be friends. Because he called me Gen Z. I said, I really appreciate
You know what that means.
That means I'm young.
That means. How old is? No, that means that he wants you. That's what it is. He's trying to hit on you. This is like some fucking classroom shit. I'm gonna pick on this girl. This is some classroom. Dude, come on, get better game, dude.
I heard he's hung like a field mouse. Your belly button's in trouble.
I think I need to be, Andre, I need to be a little bit more like you, and you need to be a little bit more like me. We need like some balance, because he called me in on his live after I sent him a video, and I was on my way to the gym and I wasn't prepared, and he was just like attacking me, and I froze up. I looked so stupid. I need to make a response video to him, because I think he was drunk, and his energy.
I've interacted with him briefly, and I ratioed him every fucking time.
He's just he's a very bad energy.
I can't stand it. I hope he hears this. Older millennial, you're a fucking loser, dude.
He did it to get to you, because you
were you're a fucking loser. Yeah, you're a Jew bootlicking loser. All right, that's what you are. Older millennial. Your videos are low IQ, low energy.
Andre? Because we asked him, he says he's not a Christian. What is he? Is he Jewish? I'm not trying to be funny, but he wouldn't answer.
Listen, if he isn't a hidden heave, he's probably like, he's probably like, I'm a Christian, but I'm not like the non-denominational. I'm spiritual people. He's probably one of those people.
We asked him.
He said
I asked him on the live, and he also said he doesn't know Enzo, because I messaged him and I said, "Hey, I made a video about you."
Saying his name, please.
Oh, sorry.
Like, stop saying his name. No, for real, like, please.
The Italian, the Mario and Mario. We'll do that. Mario. Sadly, Luigi called him back to the plumber apartment and shit. So we won't talk about the Italian question. But older millennial, I don't fucking know who he is. I don't like him. I don't like anyone from that crowd, older millennial, all these like conservative people on Twitter. They're fucking lame, dude. And you can tell that they're bought and they're paid for. It's so obvious with these people. Like it's obvious that they're being paid something. They're being given some incentive to make the content they do. And it's tiresome. This isn't 2018 anymore. You guys are boring as fuck.
Yeah, they're not very good at it. I was telling Nora, if they want to pay me, I'll do a much better job than them. Please, somebody pay me.
Gray, as somebody that actually served and did combat, thank you for your service. Do you think this 2-week ceasefire will last, or will something mess it up? What's your thoughts?
I didn't do combat. I was IT. But with Trump, you never know what Trump is going to do. You guys say Trump is the perfect negotiator. It's the art of the deal. So maybe he's holding his cards. Maybe this is all some big scheme. I don't know what it is with Trump. Because if you talk to a Trump supporter, they're going to say, oh, Trump can't tell you what he's really thinking because that hurts his negotiating skills. So who knows with Trump? I have no idea.
Can I say that the people who we can't talk about totally got me, because for some reason my mic and camera cut off after we're having this anti-Semitic conversation. Legitimately just cut right off. I can't get it to work. I have to now I'm streaming off my phone. They got me, guys. I'm compromised.
That happened to me like a couple years
ago. Ronan, what's your thoughts? Will this ceasefire last, and where do you think the long outcome of this war will be? Because I know you have a lot of thoughts on the Iran war.
I think it's all distraction and it's pageantry. I think that either someone's got the pictures of him blowing Bubba, and Bubba could be a horse, or a guy hung like a horse. I don't know, but it still doesn't change the fact that we're in a war that we can't afford. And he's all of his tirades, all of this thing, all this energy he's putting out is just showing how ill equipped he is to actually serve this country, or be leading this country. So does it last a long time? Until finally someone removes him from office, because this is the only thing keeping him from the files being released, which would really show everything. Because you know what, the funny thing is that everyone keeps talking and hating on Jewish people, but realize this: where does all the money go? Jewish people know where all the money is. So before you decide to put all in the camps and get rid of them, let's use them, as you would say, to get where and find out all the money is. Because if anybody can find where all the money is and where the money went, and try to show how everybody actually is tied together, it'll be the Jewish people, because they can find money no matter what. So the reality is that if we want the files to be released, we have to get out of this war so that everyone can start focusing on what needs to be done. Because every single day that we've got people in the war fighting this war, no one's paying attention to what's going on with the e-files. And those e-files, the last 3 million, is all holding back bank records and everything else. So like I says, all you got to do is tell them that they're going to get 25% of all the money they'll find, and you will find every banker from here to hell, all of the Jewish ones as well, that will find out not only where the money is, why there's money going through, and why there's still millions of dollars going through his estate, like as if business is going on. And how the hell was he convicted of trafficking if he wasn't trafficking 2 people? And the money will tell us where all of these people are, and probably all the leverage that's kept Trump in position for as long as he had will wind up being gone, because now all of the people that he's been, holding over, they'll all have to fess up.
I just want to say this. The only thing I want to say is that the files don't matter anymore. The files this is what we've been doing to blackmail your politicians, your celebrities, your bankers, all your influential people, because we're going to push for war in the Middle East and become a world power. So the files don't really matter. I mean, the files is like, we get the remaining 3 million. No one's going to go to jail because all these people are protected. And at the end of the day, they get what they want. And we're seeing that right now. So it doesn't really matter. Like I've said this multiple times, the files was a distraction, or kind of an admittance of, this is what we've been doing. That's it. Honestly, that's it.
Yeah, but the files might be exactly what's got us into this war in the first place, because Israel might have all of it, and he's so goddamn scared to have any of this come out that's the thing. Remember something. You say that the files don't matter. They mattered to the one guy who's been mentioned more times than any character in Harry Potter's series, or the words themselves. He's been mentioned more times than all the words in the Bible. So the reality is that he's the guy who's in charge of all of this. He's the guy that's protecting it, and he's trying to protect himself. He doesn't give a shit about anybody else. He just wants to make sure his white ass doesn't go to jail for the rest of his life.
Jeff,
period.
What do you think the reason is for the war? Do you think it's due to the Epstein files, or what do you think it is?
I mean, I more so think it's a distraction than it being a direct result of the Epstein files. And then obviously it just culminated in so much Jewish exposure, what else are they to do but try to buy us yet again and get us working for them?
Go ahead, Mia.
So I think, and I talked a little bit earlier with Gray about this morning. So I think part of the reason that we're in Iran is, I think the majority of it has everything to do with the government of Israel and the ruling class, because Israel has an agreement with Saudi Arabia to take out Iran and all of the others, which would leave Israel and Saudi Arabia basically the two superpowers in that region. And I say that because if you look at Jared Kushner, who was sent as one of the diplomats, the negotiators to negotiate on behalf of Americans, you know, with the Iranians for the ceasefire and, you know, the nuclear deal and all that stuff. Obviously, it's a really weird person to send, considering Jared Kushner's family is Mossad, and Bibi Netanyahu used to actually sleep at Jared Kushner's family's house in New Jersey when he used to visit the United States frequently, especially in the 80s and 90s. So they have a very long history together. And then when Jared Kushner left the White House after Trump's first term, the first thing he did was start a private equity fund. And one of the largest donors to that private equity fund was the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. So I think it is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the Saudi Arabians are utilizing the Israelis because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And they want to eliminate Iran, and then they'll take out the other smaller, less powerful countries. That way, at the end, it's going to be Saudi Arabia and Israel standing for their final battle, and they'll battle each other. But for right now, they want to eliminate all of the other movers and shakers in the region.
Wow.
And the money actually supports this theory. If you follow the trails of money to where the Crown Prince spends his money, and all of these movers and shakers and the private equity funds and the way they spend their money kind of supports this a little bit. I don't think they want anybody to know they're working together, but the Saudis are definitely working with the Israelis on the DL.
Well, we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to the last topic of the night. This topic is for Andre. Andre, you talk about the degeneracy of Black culture a lot. So I had to put I had to talk about it for you, because this talks about so many things and problems, I think, in our country, but I know you talk about the Black community. In our country in general, gambling, bets, baby mamas, all the problems in our country. Andre, did you hear about the Offset shooting?
I did. I couldn't, go on Twitter or Instagram without hearing about, some rapper I'd never given a fuck about getting shot. It's like every time we hear about, some, little Uzi, little pump, little nigga from around the corner, little O Block getting shot, it's like it becomes world news for Black people, because this is politics for niggas. Niggas will sit back and focus on, Lil Pokey got shot. Did y'all hear about that? He got shot in the casino. And niggas will focus on this for a whole week. And I told him, like, did you hear about the Artemis 3 going around the moon? Niggas won't talk about that. They won't talk about, when I was talking to some Black people, like, you guys hear about the moon? Like, the moon fly by? Niggas like, what? The moon fly by? But we started talking about Offset. Oh yeah, Offset and her baby mama and who got herpes, and like, you niggas are serious right now? Like, come the fuck on. So yeah, I'm tracking the situation. I might comment on it. I might make a stream and talk about this stupid shit. That's how much I've become interested into it. They got me. Niggas have got me interested in their bullshit now.
Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? But when he made content like this, it was all good. It was all good. Let's watch this video of Lil Tay explaining why he shot Offset.
Offset broke. Who cares? Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the stream too. That broke. That pop. I'll tell y'all a true story. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit in the casino. He was popped. He was panicking. He was asking random people for cash apps. He was broke. I don't know what happened. Nobody was answering his phone call. He popped, trying to run up, chasing. Must got a gambling addiction. And the says, yo, he just popped. He calling for cash apps in front of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The first 5 I offered, I'm like, yo, you pop. You waiting for some bread? Waiting for my money. I swung that 5. You know how I get. He gets popped. Not us two dicing each other. He gets popped straight to the casino. Goes not. He get another loan from somebody else for like 2 bands. I don't even take my loan. I'm like, that's Offset. I'm good on my money. I'm worried about this. I got mad, bread. I definitely run off for 5 bands. He pops for the next band. He get 2 bands. He get a band from a random lady. I swear to God, I don't know who the she was. He's like, yo, thanks, ma. Da, da, da. He pops that. Throw the another 5. So I see like 13 bands and loans. I don't know who got paid back that day. You feel me? Bro, where's my mother? This ducked me for so long, boy. And mind you, I'm 23, and this is Raindrop, Drop Top, Cardi B husband. And I'm only talking crazy because he was talking crazy. Like, why? He was talking crazy to me over my bread.
Fucking can't.
Fucking translator, dude. Like, I don't even know.
And I beat him up on his birthday, but
Not 2 days in a row.
I'm not even, you feel me? Gangsta. I was, you know what it is? I'm that good type of like, I'm gonna give you a little bit of me. I was 230, you heard? Like, it was like I couldn't even do that time, fo. And Cardi B walked in the spot. I was like, yo, I couldn't even address it because my so aggressive sometimes that if he says something crazy, you won't even know he gonna get, like, you know something you just know it's over, like, feel me?
I fucking can't.
I can't. So people in the chat saying, why does this matter? Well, it matters because these are the people that society is propping up in front of us, and they represent, unfortunately, the black community. And also there was all this drama with baby mamas and stuff. Gray, why should people care about this if you follow politics? What do you think?
Well, I know Mia been complaining about it because we've been talking about the Pooh Shiesty Gucci Man
Yeah, I'm
thing.
tired of talking about Pooh Shiesty and them dumb motherfuckers.
But like what I was saying to Kamal was basically this, especially with black conservatives. The street people are going to talk about this, like Andre said. This is going to be big news for the street people. So if you want the streets to change, if you want people to be different, then people who are not in the streets, people who don't care about the streets, people who have other avenues of how to live life, if they speak on it and they give their perspective, it's a possibility that voice may get to the people in the streets, and that may make a young man change their mind and say, hey, you know what? I heard Andre Williams say that there's a better chance at talking and being in politics than it is busting my gun and hustling. So it's good for the youth, at-risk youth.
Kimberly, you put something in the chat. Your fan has responded. He says he needs you to dance for his band. Are you going to dance for the band? Not tonight? Okay. Not tonight. Not tonight, Boad. She said you need to send a hundo.
For real. The $2. Come on, we know you ain't that broke. Come on.
Bands make good
Hope you
bands.
have some money for a band.
Bands make good bands.
I do have a funny story.
Ronan, I'm gonna let you go after Ronan, Kim. Ronan, you seem to bring up race a lot. I'm gonna let you comment after this video. I would love to get your take why white people should care about this. Here we go.
Want the scoop? It's all on camera, bruh. Hey, man, this fool little TJ that shot this goddamn Offset in ass, bro. Offset was whooping little TJ at the goddamn Hard Rock, and then what turned around, bruh? Hey, he walked off and TJ pulled a whole move and Dauphin him and shot him in the cheeks. That's why he's sitting in the back of the squad car right now. That's the breaking news.
Why these niggas look like runaway slaves? Shit.
So, Ronan, why should people care about this or not care? You say, I could tell you're an ally for the black community. You brought up your race. You brought up Kamala. You felt like Kamala was unfairly lost or set up or whatever you said on the stream yesterday. I responded and I said, somebody that's actually half Jamaican, I really don't care about Kamala's race. Like, she wasn't qualified. But nevertheless, why should people care about this? What do you think?
Honestly, this is like the house is on fire and someone's worried about the windows being cleaned. Like, I mean, you see this country, what's going on. And the thing of it is, this is all a distraction. This is all like this, because while all people sitting here talking about two people that couldn't give a shit about you, think about it. Why would you want to care about it? Are you going to have dinner with these people at any point in time? And I don't mean these people like as if, oh, the black people like this, but I mean two rappers from fucking.
Nah, you know what you meant. We know what you meant.
Okay, listen. Let me tell you something. Do you know why I don't really give a shit about race? Because here's the fact: people open their mouths so much that you can hate them for what they actually do. The reason why most people were racist back in the day, like my complexion back in the day, is because they didn't have the balls to stand up and actually meet these people and get to understand them and to realize that they're just as founded in the relationships of God or the land or whatever that we all are. The indifference is that they just look and say, "Oh, they're different than us," then we don't have to actually value them. The fact is I'm not racist because there's enough people in this world that open their mouths so much that you could hate them for everything else. You don't need to hate them because of their skin tone. In fact, the reality of it is I like immigrants, migrants, and black people and Spanish people and everybody else a lot more than I do my own white people. I will tell you right now, half the time I watch these white people act and I'm like, these people do not represent me. Okay, I've gone to Jamaica and lied about my nationality. I said I was Canadian.
Why? Jamaicans love white America. Hold up.
No. I'll tell you why. Hold on. Time. I'll tell you why. I got to Jamaica and I was with a Canadian family. And the Jamaican came in and he was very nice and respectful and kind to everybody. But he got in the car and his whole attitude changed with 2 words. The person says, "Where are you from?" He goes, "I'm Canadian." All of a sudden, that Jamaican was loving on everybody. "How are you doing?" This, that, and the other. His just energy, everything changed about him. And for the rest of the day, I'm like, I'm Canadian. You're right.
I love that. I'm Canadian, motherfucker.
Yeah, because but the thing of it is this. I live in Florida, right? South Florida. And I see it all the time. White people will go into Miami. They don't try to speak Spanish. They don't try to make any effort to be respectful in a place that has obviously Latin people talking. And they just sit there and act like you should be knowing my language. Bitch, this place was owned by Spain for years.
They should be. As somebody whose father spoke 5 languages, my father made it a point when he came to this country to learn, perfect English because we speak English here. I'm sorry. I'm actually a woman of color, and I'm gonna tell you, Ronan, they need to speak English. It's that simple. And I'm from Hollywood, Florida. So I'm gonna be honest with you. It's impossible to get a job, to survive, to live. Ronan, I hear you, and I appreciate you for caring about minorities.
But I will tell you right now. Hold on for a second, just so you know. I walk into a store in Miami, and it's very much like this. I go to restaurants in Miami, and people just look at me like this. I can't speak Spanish for shit. I can get slapped and I can order food. Those are the 2 things I can do fine like this. But when I at least try, their attitude changes. Like, "Oh, okay, not a problem." Like, "Oh, cool." They pull you in because it's like,
why do you need to try in your own country? What? Why do I need to try to learn something? If this is my house, why am I going to sit here and try to do the things that fuck the guests? You're in my house. These people are guests here. You learn the fucking language when you come over here. I don't want to learn Spanish. I'll learn it to know what these motherfuckers are saying because there's so many of them over here now. But I'm not going to sit here and try to learn this shit.
First off, just like this is irony, this Florida was owned by Spain long before the white people came here and landed on Plymouth Rock. Okay, long before they talk about all the tribes here, the whole 9 yards. Half of this is here. These tribes are here is because they were shuttled in. The truth of the matter is there is nothing. Hold on. There is nothing wrong with learning other people's cultures because guess what? You're right. If you're walking the streets of Miami, everybody should speak Spanish. But if you go into a restaurant that's owned by Spanish people and you don't show some respect and go and at least try and be hospitable, then you become a part of the culture that everyone hates. Because there's a fact of the matter is there are people that actually try to get along with races and there are people that do what you're doing, which is blocking up going, "You know what? No, I hate Jewish people." How do you know? Why do you why would you hate everybody just because of their religion?
I don't hate people, Ronan. I don't hate people. I don't have that. When people like me say we're racist, it's not I hate these people because they exist. It's more I understand that race is real. Races are different. Cultures are different. People are different. And I have my own that I have a preference. I want to be around my own people. Simple as that. If you want to be white and be around your own people, fucking hey, go ahead. I'm black. When I go out, I go to only black places. I don't want to go to like the whitest of white places. Funny, I found I got banned from
because you want flavor, taste, and style.
But guess what? No, it's not. It's not about that. I want to be around my own people because that's how nature is. Race is natural. Racism is natural. When you talk about racism back in the day was this. No, it was more people. Listen, this country's predominantly white. We kind of only want to be around our own white people. And now since the country is like multicultural, now it's like, well, now we're forced to be around these people. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to dilute the racism now to. If you're not adhering to the cultural standard, you don't belong here. And a lot of these people don't adhere to the cultural standard. So I'm not about to sit here and learn the language of another people that are coming into my country and are only here because we have become so weak and letting them in. They don't fucking belong here. When I go to their country, they're not going to say, well, I didn't have to learn English when he comes in the house. No, they're not going to. They say, learn Spanish, motherfucker. Learn Spanish, nigga. Or they're going to say, learn Spanish, gringo. Or get the fuck out. That's how it is around the world. Anywhere else, but for some reason in the West, for some reason, hold on. He says,
hold on. Yeah, let's get
I
Jeff
want to
in
defend what I was
here.
going to say.
No,
Okay,
I know, but
well.
let's get Jeff
Yeah.
in here, the other white tea guy. Sorry, Jeff, you on the spot. Jeff,
That's fine.
why,
That's fine.
why should we care about the Offset shooting as a people? Should we care? Should we not care? And what do you think about what Ronan said about? Like, I feel like Ronan has white guilt, and I understand why. Because in
I have
this
what?
country,
White what?
White guilt.
You're a
You
white
just-
apologist. You're a white cuck apologist.
Well, I didn't say all that, but
I'm for. You know what? The funny thing is, I ain't got any white guilt because I'm first generation here. My parents are English. I have no white guilt.
Okay, well, what would you
Well,
like me to
you're a
label what you just
representation of
said?
England.
'Cause you just
No,
said a
it's
lot.
you know what? Honestly, you're gonna all laugh. I'm Buddhist, so I believe in everybody being connected. That we are all
the
attached
worst.
together,
You're
and
white and
all of this negative energy is just counterproductive to the fact that while we're all sitting here worried about who's black and who's white and who's this and what that whole 9 yards, we've got the government fleecing us, taking every dollar we got. You want to hate on the Spanish people, but it's the white people in the office that are doing all the damage to us. To me, honestly, why would I want to care about two rappers? Yes, I feel on a level they should all be taken care of and we should be whatever. The fact that they lived their life like that meant because you know why they acted like that and whatever, whether it was a persona. Most kids in this generations or in the generation rise are getting raised by one mom or one dad, at a broken home or a home that they don't all get to sit
Let's
around
talk
each
about
other.
that.
The fact of the matter is this, is that the cultural problems that we're having is because you got the rich people up here and the poor people down here doing all the goddamn work. And so two people being in a home trying to raise a child good is the problem. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, well, I don't mean to offend you, Ronan. I do believe.
Oh,
you're
I'm not
truly
offended.
trying
No,
to be
not
an
offended at
ally.
all.
Yeah.
But
And I will say this: white people here in South Florida, I never really experienced like racism until I went north of South Florida. South Florida is different. It's not like the rest of Florida. I live in Central Florida, so I do think Ronan this is in his heart. But what I'm saying is, as a person of color listening to you talk, it's like almost like you're ashamed to be white tea, and I don't think you should be ashamed to be who you are, and that's all we're saying. But Jeff,
no, I'm actually ashamed of what a lot of white people are doing. That's I will tell
you're
you.
ashamed to be
Why?
white American. That because you said
Why?
you had to say you were Canadian.
Well,
Yeah, like give me an example. Like, what are white people doing? Because I have things that I'm not ashamed to be black. I just don't like niggas. I separate blacks from niggas at the end of the day. I have no shame in being black. I love being black every day, every second. I just don't want
the funny
niggas
thing
around
is,
me. So
you're arguing about this country like it's your country. You kept saying, "Oh, this is my country; they shouldn't be
It
allowed
is?
in." But you realize,
Oh,
do
yeah,
you realize?
it is.
Hold on. Do you realize technically it's none of our countries? Because unless any of you guys are Native American, this shit isn't ours at all. Because you know what?
I am a Native
You might have been-
American.
hold
I
on,
have
hold
Native
on.
American in me.
Who is? Who?
I got Native American in me.
Okay, then you know what?
And guess
It
what?
is
My
your
family's
fucking
been here
country.
since the 17th. Hold on.
I got nothing.
My family's been in this country since the 1740s, and were brought over here. And of course, if you're a Black American, you have about, I'd say, a minimum of 20% white and Native American in you. It's like a different variation
Oh,
of.
fuck it.
of
No,
both. So
you're not
we've
living
been
on
here.
the tribe.
How long
Get
has your
fucked up.
family been here?
No.
Hold
The
on, I
fact
don't
of the
live on
matter
the tribe. I don't want to
is
live
you
on the
just
fucking
said-
tribe at all. I'm a
Hold
Black
on,
American.
You just
at the end of
told
the day.
me. You just told me you came. Your family came over here. Hold on, let me finish.
No, Ronan.
They were brought over here.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yes,
What were you
Andre,
saying
this is
about-
not your land.
Jeff did everything we got to finish. Jeff, what were you saying about the Offset thing?
Oh,
And about Ronan?
About the Ronan thing, real quick. So, and about y'all, because listen, my best friend in law school was Jamaican. I was the only white guy in a black friend group because I was a sprinter at Alabama. And so, like, I know the. Like,
Oh, you must have been fast.
The white guilt is just seething from him. Right
What?
now. The white guilt is just seething from you, bro.
You know what? I can give you a lot of reasons why you could make fun of me, but white guilt is not one of them. I will tell you that I boxed. Hold on. I boxed all of my life, right? All the way up until about maybe 22, 23 years old when I had to really whatever like that. And I can tell you that I worked off of a gym off of Sunrise Boulevard. And what happened was I got there, I was the only white kid. And the coach just dismissed me like, oh, he's a white kid. He's just whatever. And he told me this later on. And I went there for 2 weeks and all I did was punch the bag and that's all they would let me do. And after about 2 weeks, he finally started working with me. He goes, all right, you work like this. And I go, why did you wait so long? He goes, because when white kids come in here, they just want to play around. They're not really taking it seriously. So I used to sit there and box and fight and have a community with more immigrants or minorities or black people than I have white people because I don't know, the culture just seems so much more like everybody getting together. Honestly, Andre, some of your is like so white that it's like, ow, wow. Because like to me, it's like I want us all to be together and just get along. I don't want us to be fighting because guess what? None of us are billionaires, and the people that are doing us the harm are the billionaires. So while we're all sitting here being diversified and trying to like argue and this, that, and the other, we're not paying attention to the people that are really screwing us over. And it's not the immigrants, it's not the black people, it's not all the.
So
it's
the people
top
that screwing me
1%.
over, the people that screwing me over are niggas at the end of the day. You know, when I'm watching, you know, black kids get shot in the neighborhood, when I'm watching niggas sit there and sell drugs in my community, when I'm watching these people we're talking about push poison into the minds of black children, into the minds of young black. I mean, yeah, we can get to the root of it. Yes, at the end of the day, I mean, if we're going to be honest, most of the record industry is ran by Jews. And of course, you have a lot of blacks and whites that profit off of that. That's something we can talk about at the upper class. But at the end of the day, the people who are pushing this aggressively and who sit back and send me death threats every day are black at the end of the day. So I'm going to focus on the immediate problem, the immediate threat. And I'm not dismissing the, of course, distant threat that's in, you know, on the horizon. That's there, but we have to deal with the level one problem. Then what's at the lowest level? We have to focus on that. So, I mean, you're sitting here saying all this about diversity and all this. Diversity is a fucking cancer, honestly. Diversity is proven it's a cancer in the United States. Diversity is not a strength. It's our unity behind a common ideal, a common purpose as Americans that strengthens us and has built this country. It's black and white people in majority and throughout history. And not, you know, saying that other people haven't been here, we don't care about them. Black and white people, when we work together, we've made things happen. I mean, we're looking at what's going on right now with Artemis 3. You know,
white and black people work together? Are you kidding me? You mean
yes.
because I guess the slaves are working for the white guy. What are you talking about? It's been diversity for freaking ever.
Well, most of the plantations were owned by
and the affirmative actions and stuff like that.
DEI is dog shit. The DEI has killed black people. Affirmative action has destroyed black people. That has been the worst thing that ever happened to us.
I agree with you. I don't want black people to get was as well.
Let me tell you, the best example of that is the city of Detroit. The city of Detroit, when it comes to DEI and affirmative action, Coleman Young destroyed the city of Detroit when it came to the police department, when it came to police and fire, when it came to business, destroyed the entire city throughout the 80s and 90s. And now we have this today, where we have politicians in power, not because they're good for leading us, they're in there because they're black. This is how we vote. The civil rights movement, the worst thing that ever happened to black people. It's the worst thing that ever fucking happened to black people at the end of the day. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel?
Oh my God, Kimberly,
it's one of those situations. Honestly, I'll be short.
Yeah, please, because we gotta let the ladies in, and then we're going.
Andre, the thing of it is this: if you keep looking that there's always fences, there's always borders, there's always this, then there's always going to be a problem. Because the reality of it is this: those black people that you're talking about that are getting killed and this, that, and the other. Could have been it's the people above us that have caused that, because if those kids had mothers and fathers there together, then that would change, wouldn't it?
Dude, no. What it is at the end of the day, here's what it is.
Honestly, you're spreading hate, at the end of the day. That's not right. Period. I don't
most definitely. I'm spreading. Let me tell you this.
And that's
I'm
wrong.
spreading. Let me tell you this. I'm expressing pride and hatred of another group of people that's bringing me down, because that's what I believe in, racial hygiene. And you can look up what that word means, eugenics. That's what I'm looking at. We want eugenics, all right? That's what we want, racial hygiene. I want my people to be better, because that's what I think that black people, when we work the hardest, when we are the best, we contribute much to this country. And it's shown throughout history. The most intelligent, the most best and brightest black people contribute a lot. But the problem is we have niggas holding us back. And also, here's another thing. We have weak whites that are holding this country back as well. This white guilt shit, this we have to apologize for everybody and everything. That shit is killing America. And that's why we're fucked up now as a people.
Okay.
We have weak whites. I'm not saying you are, Ronan. I think you're a real tough guy. I love you, Ronan. Honestly, I love you. I love you.
You're spreading hate.
Ronan, stop. Because we got to let everybody else in here. Like, I appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to let the ladies in here. I'm going to play one last clip, and then I'm going to let the ladies in here. But Ronan, I appreciate you. I don't want you to think I don't, because I know some people were rude to you yesterday. Here we go.
So you can't be sending this type of shit around to people. Look at this. This is Offset with his Hard Rock host. He's like, I'm here. So only gave me $3,000 in cash. He says, at least you have some cash. That's what the host says. He says, credit line. He says, I'm working on it. He says, how long? Because he's trying to gamble. The host says, I'm not sure. I sent it higher. It's up in credit. He said, what did they say? Now this is, he says, this is the host. He says, do you want to know what's your down this trip? He says, yes, $890,000. He said, oh my God, what the fuck? So I need $500K more. Man, I don't know if it seems like he's in there.
So based on that clip, I want to get the ladies' thoughts. Kimberly, why do you think this matters? It seems like Offset has a gambling addiction. It's over money, I'm hearing. Do you think we should care, and why?
I was just gonna say, it sounds like he's having money problems. That sounds like a cultural, a personal issue. Sorry, he needs some friends to help him out right there. With respect to like the bigger cultural issues, I mean, there is a gambling problem. There is an addiction problem. There are diseases of despair. We are bred and raised to be consumers in this country, so we don't really have like a sense of identity or a sense of purpose. You can find that ignorance knows no race, color, ethnic background, sexual orientation, gender, creed, religion. There's ignorance in every subset of groups. Like, Lord knows I know there are ignorant Mexicans. I've met them, and I think I always make a joke like, "Que desperdicio de mexicano," because they make us look bad. You can say that about all kind of people. You can say that about white people, black people, Asian people. Ignorance, that has to do with ignorance. I think the reason why it's so like in our face right now, it's because it's a nice little distraction. And it's sometimes, like when I hear chisme here and there about like, oh, this girl did that and the baby mama and that, like, please tell me. I love this shit because it's so entertaining, and also it makes me feel better because whatever the fuck I'm going through, at least I'm not Offset. At least I'm not fucking going through some gambling problems. You know what? I don't have it that bad. So this is fucking funny to me. I don't think we should take it that seriously, but also like he needs some friends to help him out for sure.
Well, he's going through a divorce. His ex-wife done got pregnant 2 months after leaving him. Mia, I know you keep up with all the drama of Cardi B and Offset. Why should we care about this?
To be honest, we shouldn't care about it. I mean, the more attention we give degeneracy, the more attention degeneracy gets. I mean, he's a dog. He's a dog. And dog shit happens to people that act like dogs. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for him. I mean, you live like a dog, you make your bed and you lie in it like a dog. I mean, he's contributed nothing to society but a bunch of broken homes. He even cheated on his wife to the point where she can't even be with him. And this is like before she even did the whole thing with like her last baby and like, whatever that loser football player was. I mean, he was cheating on her and had to go on embarrassed her in front of everybody, and she still took him back.
Diggs.
Thank you. And like she still took him back, was still paying all of his child support notes, taking care of his family, taking care of her family. At one point in time, she broke it down the thousands of dollars a week she's spending on their kids plus his kids outside of her relationship. She was making sure everybody was paid while he was not doing shit. And he did nothing but live like a dog. I'm sorry, man. It is what it is. You want to be a dog, then, dog shit's going to happen to you. I don't think we should highlight it at all, to be honest.
Well, this is what's trending. This is what's in the news. So we're going to talk about it.
Fair.
But we are going to be going to closing thoughts, and we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell on all our sides so you can know when we go live. Jeff, it's your first time here. There was a lot. You got to come back. Hopefully you'll have more time to talk. Probably on a Tuesday Andre's here. You guys are buddies. But a Thursday night, Andre's with us on Tuesday nights. But Andre, usually, he waits his turn. But Ronan, you made a new friend tonight, Andre. But Jeff, thank you for coming. Let us know your closing thoughts and let everyone know what you thought about the new party.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I was thinking that Ronan wasn't going to say the stuff that he was going to say, so I didn't know whether everyone was going to be conservative or there's a mix or anything like that. So it's pretty cool to hear the interesting points. I agree with pretty much everything Andre said about race, and also, so it's funny because we're obviously different races, but we agree on race things. Yeah, and just thanks for letting me on. It was pretty cool. I love to be back.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciated you. Andre, you made 2 new white friends. I got you 2 new white friends now. Thank you for coming back. What's your closing thoughts?
Well, I like Ronan. Ronan was nice to speak with. I'm not a big fan of the white guilt shit because, you know, if we have a country of dysfunctional blacks and weak whites, I mean, we really don't have a country. So we can't have that. But Jeff, same thing. Jeff is a cool dude. I love Jeff. It's good to be here, to be back. I know the Italian in question, I know the debate was very spicy. It's unfortunate you had to go back to Plumberland and Luigi. You know, hopefully they're, you know, saving Points Pete's or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, that's all I've got. I got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. I'll probably put out a video in the next maybe 30 minutes or so on Instagram. Got a few videos coming out on YouTube. I have to get back to doing my thing. I've been very distracted with other things going on in my life. No longer do I have to deal with that. So it's good to be back to where I need to be. That's all I got to say.
So are you going to debate Ronan, Andre? What's the debate going to be?
And it's going to have to be on race. It's going to have to be on race and immigration. You know, I'll stay away from the Jewish question too much because I know that's something you really have to get into. I mean, not a lot of people are open to that conversation. It's becoming more popular. They have this conversation on the JQ, but, you know, it's not something you can always jump into. And that's something coming from the side of politics I've always been on, mainly the dissident right, far right, that's usually something we usually not talk about immediately. So we can do race. We'll see if something happens this weekend. If not, then, you know, it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to any discussion about it in the future.
Thank you, Andre. Mia, what's your closing thoughts?
It's been a fun night, lots of laughs. Thank you to three guests, actually. We had 3 guests today, so thank you for you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Hope to see everybody back. And I am going to read a quote from one of my favorite people that everybody should be utilizing every single day, and this is how we're going to change all of our lives. Frederick Douglass once stated, "I prayed for 20 years, but received no answer until I prayed with my legs." That means actions matter. Get the fuck off your fat ass. If you want to change your community and you want to change yourself, you have to do it yourself. Don't wait for anybody to do it for you. Don't spend 20 years praying on your hands and knees when you should be on your legs.
That was pretty deep. You want to read the super chat we got? Oh, think. Kim, you want to read the super chat we got? You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I actually laughed when I read that. I can't rap. I can barely rhyme. So I don't know who. You know, I'd probably rap like Offset. You know, he like a couple words here and there, like, yeah. Because he's not like a lyricist. He's more like a background rapper. That's me. I just wanted to make a statement on free speech. The only solution to bad speech is good speech. I am a free speech absolutist. Whenever you see censorship, that's a bad sign. And you see it on the left and you see it on the right. We're seeing it right now in my dear Mexico. They are censoring, they are surveilling, they are tracking people, and that's not a good sign, even if you say you're for the people. So you see that not just with our country here in the United States, but all over the world. So whenever there is censorship, not just with the news and the media and how we see now, Kim, going to stop pimping me. Okay, cool. Thanks for the super chats. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so free speech, always. Whenever they're trying to censor, surveil, it's a bad sign. They always do it, but it really is getting much worse now. And I love Frederick Douglass. He's one of my heroes. That was a good quote. Thank you, Mia, for sharing that. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your evening.
Great. What's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts is thank you, Jeff, for coming. Thank you, Ronan, Andre. Welcome back. It was a great show. When we were talking about Trump tacoing, I knew Trump when he said that he was going to destroy a civilization. I didn't believe it. I thought it was cap. As far as the new party, it seems like it's turned into a soap opera political podcast. So I guess it's the days of our lives. Like we always say on a new party, always vote.
Thank you, Bohad, for all the super chats. Shout out to Pine Hills, Florida. Yeah, shout out to Pine Hills, Florida. I would like to thank Jeff, Andre, and Ronan for coming. Thank you guys so much. We couldn't do this without all of you guys. And I think what makes the new party special is we represent all sides, all races, and we have tough conversations. Ronan, I had to pick on you. You was a little bit too focused on race, so I had to call it out and ask you some questions about race. But anyways, I want to say this, guys. I'm genuinely happy to see tensions cooling down between the United States and Iran. Seeing a ceasefire or any movement away from something we should all support, no matter your politics. Peace is always better than more lives lost, in particular our soldiers. If leaders like Trump and others can move the world away from another conflict in the Middle East, that's something that's worth acknowledging, guys. We really need to celebrate that. And tonight, we talked about why culture matters as well. What happened to Offset shows that gambling, cheating, living degeneracy is not the way. He had a beautiful family. He threw it all away because he couldn't keep it in his pants. It's that simple. And that's why these conversations matter, because we're pushing culture forward. And unfortunately, we have to call out certain things. Not just that, we see too many times in the Black community, gang violence, shooting, deaths. And as we are a predominantly Black podcast, we are going to talk about these things. So tonight, I want to be clear. I denounce any gun and gang violence. So guys, make sure you're getting away from this and rejecting degeneracy and embracing responsibility, discipline, and purpose, because peace abroad matters. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will have our flagship Man Cave show where we'll be talking about politics and men issues. And I'll be back hosting Thursday night. God bless and stay. Oh, we have another super chat. Is that the last one, Gray?
Yeah, all I can see, I'm on my phone, not on the laptop, so I can't see.
Okay. First time, enjoyed the show. So thank you guys for your super chats and all your support. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. God bless and be safe.
Hello, history buffs. Ready for a journey back? Look at this encampment. The spirit of 76 is alive.
Freedom of future. A true patriot savors these moments, but the fight for liberty calls. To the encampment for freedom of future.
For liberty. This is what American patriotism is all about. Look at these flags. They represent our fight for liberty.
The hour of our liberty is at hand. For freedom is brava. Secure our liberty. My fellow patriots, the hour of decision is upon us. Let us march forth with courage to secure our liberty.
Welcome to my colonial home. Today, Del Payne's work captures the spirit of We Fight for Independence. And our freedom. Greetings from the encampment. The spirit of liberty is strong. We will fight for our rights and our freedom.
Hour is late. You must enact. To the encampment for liberty. Through every change and challenge. We stand at the dawn of liberty, unshaken by the trials ahead. Soldiers, the enemy is near. Front line, flapping.